The Cab Sav is the best red I've ever tasted.
Yeah.
Myrtle Creek's getting a real name for itself.
Wine's a wine. They all taste the same to me.
That's right, I haven't missed the big bumps, can I?
Oh, come on. You're just complaining because you sank all that booze last night. A bit of a sore head.
I didn't sink any booze. I don't drink it anymore. I spit it out.
See, that is such a waste.
No, well, you drink it all, you get drunk, your palate gets clouded. Can't make clear assessments.
Oh, yeah, I never could make a good assessment anyway.
Oh, that's why I'm doing the course, to learn the differences.
It's easy. There's red, there's white, and pink.
Rosé.
Whatever.
Oh, I bet if they were running a course on beer appreciation, you'd be in like a shop.
Except I wouldn't be spitting it out. Not until I had about 15 pots or something. And that'd be a gut reaction.
Ha ha. I'll just hold it up here anyway, I'll check the depth.
Sure.
Yeah, should be fine. We were crossing the creek and we noticed it downstream. It's all flowing out down here.
Bloody hell. Have you checked the vats?
The 98's empty, it's all gone.
Oh, no. No.
I'm so sorry, Pop. It's our 98 Cabernet, our best vintage ever. Not the one we tasted last night. Yeah, that's the one. Now the whole lot's gone.
I don't understand. How could it happen?
Pop, the bung's missing from the transfer link. It's been unscrewed or...
I'll kill him.
Pop.
Mr. Hale, are you saying someone did this deliberately?
You bet I am. I'll bloody kill him.
Mr. Hale, if you think you know who did
It was
this,
our 98 vintage Cabernet, our showcase wine. We had a big pre-sale to the Yanks, our big break.
And the value of the vat, what would it be worth? Thousands?
Try 6 figures.
So how would it just empty out? Simple. The bung was removed.
The bung?
It's the plug that's taken out when you move the wine from the secondary vats to the barrels.
Maybe it was an accident.
It's not just a cork you can kick out by mistake. It's an engineered, screw-on, stainless steel bung, son.
Mr. Hale, if you have an allegation, just go
It's
ahead
not
and
an
make it.
allegation, I know. He's always been jealous of Myrtle Creek. Best position, best soil, best vines, best fruit. There's Dave all right.
Dave? Who's Dave?
David Hale. He runs the winery across the creek.
My bloody son.
Should I go and talk to David Hale?
There's a few things I want you to do here first, Joe, like taking the stolen bike back, for a start.
Don't you think I should follow up on this first?
Jack can follow it up, can't he?
Jack wouldn't know a Pinot Noir from a Pepsi.
Oh, that's a bit unkind.
Wouldn't you rather someone with a bit of wine knowledge?
She's right. Maybe useful.
Yeah, all right, but do the bike as soon as you get back, eh?
No worries, yeah.
Sorry, but it's a joke, right?
Your father's not laughing.
So you're denying you had anything to do with it?
Well, of course I do. Why would I give him an excuse for any more aggro? He gives me enough grief as it is.
Can we take a look around?
No, you can't. What you can do is advise my father to think things through just a bit more before he starts chucking accusations around, eh?
So why aren't you telling yourself, huh? I mean, this family feud, it's just all a bit silly, don't you think?
It takes 2 to tango and 2 to stop. And I told him ages ago my feet were tired.
Can we keep this damn door shut? We're supposed to maintain a constant temperature in here.
Okay, Maxie, don't start acting like an old woman. Our friends here were just leaving, right?
You're not just saying this because your mates at Sue Grafton, are you?
There is something going on out there.
This business has been going on for years.
Well, David denies doing anything.
Well, I reckon he's sus.
The whole thing, it just could have been an accident.
Well, you wouldn't say if you knew how much wine meant to these people. You should have seen the old man's face when he realised the whole vintage was gone.
His own son did it to him. He's a bit tall order.
Not if you know the Hales, it's not. The vineyard came down to Ross through his wife, Kath. When she died, he made sure the vineyard was going to be left to his granddaughter, not the son.
Well, why would the old bloke do that?
Well, Ross is a bit of a traditionalist and David's into all the newfangled technology.
Sue told me after wine class one night her grandfather gave the land across the valley to him, told him to do his techno thing over there and keep his nose out of Myrtle Creek Estate.
Do you reckon there's anything to the old man's sabotage theory?
There's only one way to find out. Find that bung and see if it's got prints on it.
Constable Parish, please.
Constable Parrish is in a meeting, sir, but can I help you with anything?
Oh, no, we're not here.
Well, no, thanks. We'd really prefer to speak to Constable Parrish, Joe Parrish. We understand she's the best cop around.
Well, yeah, she's a very good cop, sir, but then so are the rest of us.
Well, I'm sure you are, but we'd really prefer to speak to Constable Parrish.
Mum! Dad, what are you doing here?
There was a hole in the business plan. Thought we'd jump through it into a short visit.
Hello.
Princess.
Are you going to introduce us, Joe?
Sorry, this is Tess Gallagher, my sergeant.
Oh, I've heard about you. Jeff Parrish. This is my wife, Bev, the other light of my life.
I've heard about all of you. Nice to put a face with the names.
And this is Ben and PJ.
Ben, how are you,
Lovely
mate?
to see you. See you, Parrish. How are you? Yeah, Mrs. Parrish, nice to
And
meet
boss.
you.
Boss, this is my parents. Senior Sergeant
This
Croydon
is your boss. Now, I've heard a lot about you.
Oh, good, I hope.
What have I said no?
Well, instant dismissal, I'm afraid.
Oh, well, in that case, she badmouths you all the time. Scumbag, I think was the word that popped out of her mouth.
It's a stir from way back.
Are you going to be staying in town?
Yeah, you got a recommendation?
Well, I get a commission if I mention the Imperial. No, seriously, it's a good pub and Chris will really look after you.
Is it okay if I get an early mark, boss?
Well, you'll have to talk to the sergeant.
There's nothing on the slate except paperwork, and Jack's already covered the last call out.
Going to take that bike back, Joe? Yeah, look, I suppose it can wait till tomorrow.
Sounds like you can cover your absence, Parrish. Off you go.
Can't remember the last time we stayed in a country pub.
And this is where you live?
Yeah, my room's just down the hall.
Yeah, so's the ensuite. All mod cons, eh?
Oh, it's lovely, Joe. Real old world charm.
So living in the pub is one of the perks of the job, eh?
Dad, don't start.
You know your father. Nothing's ever good enough for his princess.
So, what's all this about?
Or what?
Turning up out of the blue. And I've been here over a year and you just suddenly pop in.
No wonder she wanted to be a copper. I mean, she's so suspicious.
Look, there is something.
Let's not blow this out of proportion.
Your father and I have been talking about you.
We talk, you know.
Yeah?
Since the
shooting, is that what this is all about? Look, I told you there's nothing to worry about.
Oh, yeah, that's why you carry a gun when you're on the job, huh?
I hardly ever take it out.
Oh, no. Except when someone's shooting at you.
There was one incident and it was ages ago.
What about that Jack? He wasn't at the station. He was the one that got shot, right?
He's fine now.
That's supposed to reassure me.
Dad, I don't need looking after, okay? Tell him.
As if he'd listen to me.
Okay. If you say you can handle yourself, well, you're a copper. I guess I'll have to believe you.
Thanks.
Look, I think I'd better make a professional assessment of the plumbing.
He just couldn't bear it if anything happened to you.
I know. It's nice that you both care.
We do.
Here we go.
Oh, this looks great.
Others coming.
What's wrong?
Oh, nothing. Just a case I was working on today.
You have to learn to leave work at work.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Oh, thank you.
So that.
I didn't believe it either when they walked in.
They were at each other's throats this afternoon.
That's families for you.
Not all families.
Yeah, not our family.
I knew there was a reason for
You've
this.
got to give him a second chance.
Second chance? Trust him as far as I could spare.
Calm down.
Don't tell me to calm down. Look, I'm not told you to do it, Pressure. Oh, you come outside, you know.
Joe!
That's my daughter, mate.
Okay.
Only got what it is.
I want to press some charges, thanks. This guy here, Solomon, I want him charged.
Oh, yeah, that's big.
Yeah, you had it coming.
Hey, that's enough.
Just shut up, the lot of you. You all together? Just wait over here for me, will you? I'll be with you in a minute. Joe, what's the story?
It's a long one.
Yes, well, you should be at the hospital.
Mum, I'm fine.
She was always stubborn,
Mum.
even when she was a child. Headstrong. Wouldn't listen to anything.
Joe, she's right. You should get that checked out.
No, I'll go after
Joe,
I've sorted
I'll be
this
fine.
out.
Go.
Come on.
I'll be right.
Yeah, all right.
I'm not denying it. I started it, but he asked for it. I knew he would.
So if you knew this was going to happen, what were you doing having dinner with him?
He asked me. Peace offering. I said no. Susie said I was being bloody minded, so went along with it.
Some peace offering.
Still, you can't go around starting punch-ups, Mr. Hale.
He offered to buy me out. He wanted to take over Myrtle Creek.
What, so you attacked him?
Of course I bloody attacked him. It just proves that he was the one who drained the vat, doesn't it? So I finish up in the financial poo and he buys me out when I'm vulnerable.
All right, let's just stick to the matter of the assault.
Assault? That's ridiculous. I was trying to help the stubborn old bastard.
Well, he claims you assaulted him.
It was self-defence. The old bugger went me. Thinks I dumped his wine.
All right, let's just stick to the matter at hand, Mr. Hale.
Well, push came to shove, then your mate stepped in.
Constable Parrish. For the tape, please.
Just speak up.
Yeah, that's her. I didn't mean to knock her over. It was an accident. Next thing I know, her old man decks me.
Now, from what I understand, Mr. Parrish was actually trying to break up the fight.
Well, a hell of a way to do it. The fight was over.
So, do you want to proceed with the charges?
My word, I do.
You can't blame him for worrying.
It's not like that usually. Mostly it's routine. Boring even.
Well, if it's boring, why do it?
How long does it take to write a prescription anyway?
You always were braver than you were sensible. Look, he just wants you to be happy.
I know.
And safe.
I'm gonna hunt down this prescription.
Oh, Princess! I got you some wild raspberry. That okay?
Thanks. It's fine. 3 stitches, that's all.
You right to work?
Yeah. Dad made a big deal about it. Thought I should take a few days off. You know what dads are like.
You'll have to fill out a personal accident form, Joe.
Yeah. He's always been overprotective. He used to have asthma really bad as a kid and he used to sit up with me all night. Then he decided we were going to exercise the asthma out of my system. He used to get me up at the crack of dawn, have me running around the oval till I dropped. Fittest 7-year-old in the state. And it worked. The asthma just disappeared.
Joe, about your dad, David Hale wants to press ahead with the charges.
Oh, you gotta be kidding.
He doesn't get some sort of immunity because he's your dad.
He was helping me break up a fight.
Well, David Hale reckons the fight had stopped.
Yeah?
I don't believe it.
We still have to follow it up.
Yep.
Just because he's your father, he doesn't get some sort of special treatment.
Sarge, that was David Hale on the phone. There's been a burg at the Hale winery.
How much money was in there, Mr. Hale?
About $400 cash and another couple $100 in credit card slips.
Right, it'd help if you had the exact figure.
I should look at yesterday's cellar-door sales.
When did you notice it missing?
When I got here and found the door pried open, that was a dead giveaway.
And who would know where the cash is kept?
Well, it's no secret. Look, I can save you a lot of time if you want to find out who did this.
Yeah?
Well, I'd have a very close look at my ex-cellar master, Max Highfield.
Have a squiz at this. Have you ever seen this before, Mr. Hale?
It's a bung.
Yes, it's the bung from your father's winery.
I've no idea how the bung got there.
Simple. You took it with you after you drained your father's wine into the creek.
Why take it with me? If you ask me, you should be talking to my old man about this. And while you're there, see if he's got my money.
We'll be speaking to him, Mr. Hale.
Good. So I can go now?
Oh, if you don't mind, we just want to grab your fingerprints.
And why do you want to do that?
So we can eliminate you from our inquiries.
He spilled his father's wine. The bung proves it.
Hang on a minute, Joe. Why would he report another crime just to leave the bung lying around for us to find, eh?
Probably didn't think we'd look around.
He looked genuinely surprised to me.
He was putting it on.
I reckon it might have been planted by someone.
Well, who would do that?
Sue Grafton? Ross Hale?
You're saying they spilt their own wine. It's ridiculous.
Any luck?
Nobody saw anything suspicious over at Myrtle Creek.
We managed to get something.
Yeah, the cook at Hale's winery said he saw a white ute parked there last night. You're late.
There's no shortage of utes in the district. Did you get a rego number?
No, we didn't get a rego number.
Yes, sir.
Mate of mine said you blokes were asking questions about Myrtle Creek, Ross Hale's wine.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I've got some information. When the wine was pumped out, I saw David's car on the back road up to Myrtle Creek Winery.
And you just remember this?
Oh, it was a bit awkward to mention it before.
Why is that?
Because I was still working for David Hale.
And you're not now?
No, finally came to my senses.
It's interesting timing.
Oh, you think what you like. David Hale was jealous of his father's Cabernet. Yeah, that's why he wanted to dump it.
That's absolute crap. He's trying to set me up.
What reason would he have to do that?
Because I gave him the boot.
And why is that?
Because he's a jumped-up little upstart with a serious ego problem. I employ him as a cellar master and he thinks that he's an artiste.
He denies stealing your cash.
Well, he would, wouldn't he? That'd be just his speed. Steal my money, then try and set me up for the incident over at Myrtle Creek. Convenient, isn't it?
Yes, he sacked me. On the grounds that I'm impossible to get along with, which is crap.
So what do you reckon the reason was?
I'll call it creative differences. So he thinks he's creative. I know I am. So I'm the one who got the results there. Now, if any of those wines do well, and they will, it'll be down to me. He thinks you can work miracles with a bit of science and technology. Forget instinct, forget talent. It's a bloody mathematical equation as far as he's concerned.
So you had a falling out, in other words?
I didn't steal his money, and I'm not trying to frame him. Like I said, he was over at his dad's place yesterday.
Max Highfield is hardly an unbiased witness.
They're all just trying to stick the knife into each other, boss.
Family.
Well, if it quacks like a duck, it is a duck. David let that wine into the river.
We don't have enough evidence to prove that.
Well, how much do you need?
More than we've got. All right, thank them for their help and keep checking their stories and give them the word. Keep well away from each other.
There's some insurance agent bloke on the phone. Wants our report on Myrtle Creek.
It's on my desk.
Oh, yeah?
You know, boss, insurance could be a motive.
Make it look like sabotage.
Yeah.
Of course Sue and Ross are going to make an insurance claim. They just lost an entire year's salary.
If they do nicely out of the claim, then they can collect the income without doing any of the work.
No, I
That's
can't
motive.
imagine any winemaker deliberately dumping an entire vintage.
And besides, they already had a sale. They were selling the whole vintage to an American distributor.
Yeah, but how do we know that deal was for real? All we've got is their say-so.
Yeah, well, I believe them.
I still think we need to have another talk to them.
Right.
Hope you're here to tell me you've got the goods on Uncle David.
I'd like to talk to you about something else, actually.
Yeah, what about?
Do you mind telling us where you were last night?
Why do you want to know that?
Just answer the question, please.
I was here.
Is that your ute?
Oh, it belongs to the winery, but I drive it, yeah.
Do you mind if I have a look inside?
Can I say no?
Yeah, you've got every right
Look,
to refuse.
Just do
if
it.
you...
It's fine.
Thanks.
What's she on about?
I can't say.
Oh, come on, Joe. It's me, Sue.
All I can tell you is that there was some money stolen from the Hale Winery this morning.
All right, and she thinks I took it.
That makes Highfield.
Yeah.
What's he doing here?
Oh, Uncle David fired him. We need a new cellarman, so Pop's having a chat with him.
Do you mind telling us how this got into your car?
What is it?
It's a credit card receipt.
I have no idea.
From your uncle's winery. Dated yesterday.
Did you break open your uncle's cash box and remove the contents?
Why would I do that?
Come on, there's no love lost between you and your uncle.
Yeah, but I'm not about to steal from him.
Maybe there was another reason why you were there.
Did you plant this in his winery?
No.
Your ute was seen there last night.
Oh, okay, I was there. I was going to ask Uncle David to make peace. I sat in my car for a few moments, decided there was no point, and left.
Right. So, how do you explain this receipt being in your car?
Look, someone's setting me up.
She's lying.
You don't know that. If somebody planted the bung, someone could just as easily have planted the receipt.
It's material evidence.
So's the bung at David Hale's.
Howdy, Princess.
Dad, what are you doing here?
What sort of way is that to greet your old man? I came to see how your hand was.
Hand's fine.
Yeah, lucky this time.
Yeah, we're just really busy at the moment, but I promise as soon as I knock off, I'll come.
Mr. Parrish,
No.
have you got a minute?
Yeah, see, someone's happy to see me.
Great, I've been trying to reach you, actually. We need to have a chat.
Always up for a chat.
Great, just come on through to the interview room then. Ben, can you sit in on this with me?
Sure. Very formal. Hang on, you're talking to the wrong man. I didn't start it, you know. It was the old bloke, Ross Hale.
Well, that's immaterial, I'm afraid, if David Hale wants to go on with this.
Jeff, the question is, mate, did you hit him?
Yeah, I hit him, and it was a pleasure too.
That kind of comment really doesn't help your case much, Mr.
What
Parrish.
case? I went to the assistance of a police officer. You should be encouraging that sort of thing.
Yeah, we just have to be sure that your actions were justified.
Listen, that bastard hurt my daughter. Now, what more justification do you need?
So he pushed her over, deliberately.
Well, no, I mean, she sort of got caught up in it.
But you thought Joe was in danger.
Duh, I mean, there was blood everywhere.
So David Hale moved towards Joe, and if you had reason to think he was going to have another go at it...
Well, no, not really. I mean, actually, come to think about it, he looked a bit shocked.
OK, then, perhaps David Hale's in the middle of this fight with his father, and you thought that Joe might be in the line of fire, so you...
No. He was just standing there. They both were.
So you just hit him?
That's right. I punched the man who pushed over my daughter. If he did it again, I'd take his bloody head off.
Joe, it looks like we're going to have to charge him.
Great, go ahead, throw the book at him.
Look, I've done all that I can to try and talk him around. He's just so...
So what?
So stubborn.
You're really enjoying this, aren't you?
Sorry?
Our families are so inconvenient, aren't they? Ever since Mum and Dad turned up in town, they've been cutting into my valuable work time.
Joe, there's nothing I can do. All right? He said that he is glad that he punched David Hale out and that he'd do it again.
Well, why can't we get David to drop the complaint?
You met him. You really think that's going to happen?
I might if Dad apologised. Did you think of that option?
He didn't seem very apologetic to me.
You just don't know how to handle it.
I can read you like a book, young lady.
I can play you like a fiddle.
Only when I don't know you're doing it.
That's what you think. Is it really that much to ask?
What, make peace with the man who attacked my daughter? Oh, yes, it is.
He didn't attack me.
It's not the point.
It's not that good for my career if my father comes up in front of the local district magistrate, is it?
All the more reason for me to do it then.
Dad. Dad.
OK, I'll try. But he's going to have to make his own apologies. Big time.
Been waiting for World War III to break out. So far, so good.
Yeah, well, they seem pretty chummy from here.
Yeah, well, Dad can charm the birds over the trees when he wants to.
Yeah, don't dare.
Chris, can you have one of my bottles of Merlot, please?
You lot checking up on us, eh?
Would I do that?
You know, I'm beginning to understand what you see in all this wine business. That was a good drop, Dave.
Sergeant, since you're here, you might like to know I'm dropping charges against Mr. Parrish. Decided to call it quits, eh?
Great. Well, when you get the chance, come down to the station. We'll formally withdraw the complaint.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, sorry, Sarge. Looks like you don't get to press charges after all.
Joe, what is your problem?
I'm not the one with the problem.
This was never personal.
Oh, crap. You just hate the fact that some of us have a life outside the force.
And some of us can manage to get through a day's work without being distracted by our daddies. Grow up, Joe. You're acting like a spoiled brat.
What's up, love?
Nothing.
I've seen you more cheerful.
Just had a crappy day yesterday.
Yeah, look, I'm sorry if I made things hard for you.
No, it wasn't you. It's just the job.
All jobs have their bad side.
Hey, not plumbing. No, come on, I have enjoyed every single day of plumbing, even with difficult customers.
Well, I certainly get my fair share of them.
Yeah, and slippery customers, and dangerous customers.
At least you're your own boss, you know. You don't have to deal with office politics.
You need to have more fun. We have more fun than you do and we're old.
Hey, speak for yourself.
We'll take you out tonight. Hit the high spots. Are there any high spots in Mount Thomas?
It depends how high you're looking for, I guess.
Well, a disco would be good.
A disco? They don't even have those anymore.
Listen, you can always find yourself another job. If this one's losing its charm.
You got an opening as a drain layer, have you, Dad? Boss?
Parrish. Morning, Joe.
Morning. Before you say anything, I know I'm 5 minutes late. I'll make it up at the end of my shift. Just get the bike back, mate. Pleasure.
Hey, Joe, you with me?
What's up?
Fifth to the Hale Winery.
What's been sold?
About a wine. Come on.
What about the bike?
Do it later.
I can show you the inventories. That vat was full.
Well, there's nothing in there now.
But there's no sign of spillage.
Well, of course there isn't. Whoever took the wine pumped it out.
Into what?
Well, you need a tanker for that amount. I'll get the inventory.
So what do you reckon? Payback?
What, by who?
Well, your mate Sue Grafton, for starters.
What about Max Highfield? There'd be no love lost there.
He's already made his point. He's gone to work for the enemy.
Look, it all seems a bit far-fetched to me anyway. A tanker in the middle of the night.
Well, they obviously did it. They knew what they were doing.
Yeah, well, we should check that the wine existed in the first place. David could be trying on a scam.
Inventory.
Or Sue and Ross.
Satisfied? Nothing.
You got no other storage facilities?
No, and the vats you've seen. Or maybe Joe could do a tasting of every barrel in the place.
Well, the wine's got to be somewhere.
Maybe still in the tanker.
Well, in which case it'll be long gone.
There are only 2 tanker companies that specialise in transporting wine, and neither had trucks in the area.
Well, maybe it wasn't transported.
Well, then where is it?
Up the creek with the last lot.
I think we would have heard about it by now.
It's got to have been moved somehow.
We're obviously looking for some kind of truck. I'll run some licence checks. It might be interesting to see if Ross Hale or his granddaughter have heavy vehicles licences.
Excellent idea, Sarge.
Well, my money's still on Max Highfield.
Your money shouldn't be anywhere, Joe.
Why? Yours is obviously riding on
All
Sue.
right, that'll do.
I've come to formally withdraw my complaint.
Yeah, right.
Look, it'd be better if you didn't do this one.
Why?
Because the complaint's against your father.
Fine.
Senior Constable Ben Stewart will take care of you, sir.
Sergeant, have you got a minute?
Joe, bike.
Don't you want me to get a lunches first?
What's going on between you and Parrish?
Joe's got a bit of a bee in her bonnet about how I handled David Hale's complaint against her father. I'm afraid it's got a bit personal.
You shouldn't let yourself get sucked into that sort of thing. You let your emotions get the better of you, it weakens your authority.
I've tried to be flexible, boss, but in the last few days she's been late, she's been distracted, and that stolen bike is still sitting out there.
I know how pig-headed she can be. Just talk to her. If you can see the world from her point of view, it might help you handle her better.
Right, gotcha.
Now, you sure you won't join us for lunch? I mean, your mum will be back from shopping soon.
Nah, I can't. I've got to get these back to work, unfortunately.
They eat on the run. It's just not helpful.
I'll add it to the list, Chris.
That table for you two's ready now, if you like.
Oh, great. I'll catch you in there, Ross.
So what's this all about? First you're best buddies with David Hale, now it's lunch with his father?
You know me. Make friends like that. Okay. It's business.
Business where he needs some plumbing done.
Not necessarily.
Oh, come on. You can't hold out on me.
All right. Don't hit me with a phone book. I'm going to buy into his winery.
Why?
Well, I've always got my eye open for a good business opportunity.
Since when have you been interested in the wine industry?
And here's the best bit. You get a great job opportunity.
What?
Well, now that you're interested in wine.
What are you on about?
Ross is willing to give you a job at Myrtle Creek. Right, he'll train you up. New career, new opportunities. No gun, no annoying superiors. And that sounds pretty good to me. So just think about it. It'd mean a lot to me, Princess.
Yeah, so he's planned a whole new career for me without even telling me.
Well, the wine biz will be a lot quieter.
None of you work for the Hales. Sorry. Yeah, just the description, thanks.
Is that about the tanker?
Yeah, no. That's great, though. Thank you.
Boss and PJ.
I'll give the boss his. Oh. Hey, Joe, you'll be pleased to know that neither Ross Hale nor Sue have heavy vehicle licences.
Yeah, Max?
Max does. I'm sorry I snapped at you last night.
I can handle it.
Yeah, I'm sure you can. So tell me about this offer that your dad made you.
Oh, it's nothing.
I think it's great. That you have a dad who wants to take care of you. What did I say now?
Did you get my pies? Thanks.
Oh, sorry.
What's up?
She's out to get me again.
Who?
Oh, Tess, one sniff of a chance to ease me out and she's on it like a Rottweiler. I think it's great. I think it's great you've got a father who wants to look after you. What's that supposed to mean?
It's great that you've got a father that wants to look after you?
No, she wants me out of here. That's what it is.
Oh, you're paranoid. You got my water?
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Hang on. It doesn't have to be a wine tanker we're looking for. It could be a water tanker.
Mr. Hale, what can we do for you?
Peace offering. To apologise for all the trouble you've been put to.
Oh, that's very kind, sir, but we're not really allowed to accept...
Rubbish. Go lovely with your lunch. Lovely drop this. My 98 Cabernet.
Isn't that the one that disappeared into the creek?
Thanks for bringing him home.
What's the deal with the wine?
He's been a bit vague lately. Forgetful.
Where did he get it?
I have no idea, but I'll have a chat with him later.
Said the American deal was back on.
As I said before, he's been a bit vague.
Not vague enough to forget the wine was in the creek?
He must have just picked it up from the cellar. He's gone downhill since my grandmother died.
I tasted it, Sue.
And?
Wasn't the Cabernet. If you ask me, it tasted more like one of the Hale winery beds.
Oh, don't you think the pop would know his own wine?
Do you mind if we take a look?
Look, I said before, we don't have his bloody wine. If it makes you feel better.
It's full of wine.
What?
Yes, it's definitely mine. Any sample bottles?
A few, yep.
We'd like to grab one and send it with the other wine that we found to forensic for comparison.
Forensics will love that, won't they?
I think I know my own wine when I taste it.
All right. Well, we're just actually waiting for the results of the test just so that we can just
Tests.
confirm.
That's the way my bloody son thinks. Scientific methods, he says.
But wasn't that your wine that went into the creek?
Creek? What are you on about? That's the Cabernet we're selling to the Yanks. Ask Kath if you don't believe me.
Kath?
Yeah. She worked bloody hard making that wine. Knows her wines. I taught her everything she knows.
You mean Sue?
Of course I mean Sue. Who did you think I mean?
Who's Kath?
Kath's my wife. She passed away. Why are you bringing her into this?
He's forgetful, that's all it is.
Well, it's a bit more than that. He can't remember losing a whole vat of wine.
This is a family matter.
I think it's gone a bit further than that.
Look, the insurance company is taking care of the wine spill, and I have no idea how that other wine ended up in our vat.
David Hale has identified the wine as his.
Are you saying that we stole it?
Well, how else do you explain it getting there?
Well, maybe you should ask my uncle.
So are you saying that he staged a theft of his own wine and moved it in the middle of the night?
I wouldn't put it past him.
Is there any possibility that they're all in this together, somehow?
Why would they be working together? They hardly do anything else together.
Yeah, except fight.
Maybe it's a scam to sell the Americans a cheaper wine.
Bingo. Max Highfield hired a water tanker from Bendigo.
I told you, he hates my guts. Especially now I'm working for his old man.
Max, David Hale isn't making accusations against you. We're just trying to get our head around this.
I'm not telling you anything. This is harassment.
Right. Max, did you steal wine from David Hale and pump it into Ross Hale's empty vat, thinking that it'd be a good place to hide it? You hired a water tanker. The guy's on his way over here to ID you.
Sue and Ross didn't know anything about it. I don't want them involved.
They are involved.
This is between me and David. The bastard didn't want to share the limelight. Whenever my wines won awards, not once did he ever mention my name. Not once. Didn't even thank me. He wouldn't know a good Cabernet if it bit him on the bum.
So he steals the wine because he's convinced that it's rightfully his?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but why ditch the Myrtle Creek wine first?
Well, he hasn't admitted to that.
He will.
Yeah, we know why. Why would he do it?
He needed space to stash the wine he intended to steal.
That doesn't make sense. Look, Max Highfield loves wine. It's his life. I can't see him just ditching a great Cabernet like
Isn't that a bit of a romantic view, Joe?
No. Look, none of them would do anything like that on purpose. Do you mind if I go out to Myrtle Creek again?
Why?
I want to have a chat to Sue. Alone. Ask you something? Why would your grandfather suddenly turn up with a bottle of wine, thinking it was from a vintage that had just been emptied into the creek?
I don't know.
Why does he call you Kath? And why would he reorganise the American deal if he knew the wine was gone?
Because he's getting old. Because he nearly died of grief when my grandmother passed away. Because
he's losing his memory, isn't he? Dementia.
All right, pay attention. Like I said, you've got your hoses. Settling vat, secondary. Now you've got to make sure you keep your hoses up when you take the bung off, or it'll siphon out of your settling vat. Bit like stealing petrol. Then you connect your hoses.
What about these barrels?
What?
Are these the barrels the wine goes into eventually?
Yeah, some of them.
How do you do that?
Oh, well, I'll show you. You see, some of these are French oak.
That's how it happened, isn't it, Mr. Hale? You were doing a transfer and something distracted you?
I let the hose go. It was the mobile phone. I told Kath I hated the bloody thing. Oh, God, I did it myself. You'll have to telephone the insurance company, tell them what happened. All the facts, they say.
they won't pay if it's negligence. You know that, don't you?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I found the bung sitting on the side of the vat when Joe and the other constable told us about the spill.
You knew what had happened straight away?
Yeah. I hid the bung. Decided to make it look like sabotage. Blame Uncle David. He's made my grandfather's life a misery, and he deserved it.
All right, so you broke in, you planted the bung, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, and you stole the cash box to make it look like a break-in.
I'm not proud of it.
What about the other wine? I mean, I can't believe you had nothing to do with that.
Is that what Max said?
Yeah.
He's loyal, Max. He'd hidden the wine in the tanker, but too long and it would have spoiled. He needed to confide in me, so I told him that he could put it in the vat after you checked it.
Which makes you an accessory.
Looks like I'm never going to get away from here.
Get away, but you love Myrtle Creek.
Wine's not my life, Joe. I only stay involved to keep Pop happy. I just have to get out of here. And the money from the American deal would have meant that we could have hired someone else. When the wine went, the insurance was the only way. Would have worked too if poor old Pop hadn't found the vat full. He must have forgotten.
I don't understand.
Well, perhaps Sue can explain it all later on. She's going to be released on bail. Your father's going to need some support.
Dad?
You keep out of it.
Mr. Hale, your son's done nothing wrong. He's the injured party here. He's just trying to help.
Dad, let's put everything aside for a bit, eh? I'll help you out. Just the bookwork, administration, that sort of thing.
Oh, yeah, and throw some oak chips into the reds, I know.
No. We do everything your way. Nothing changes. I just hope you keep it all ticking along, eh?
I don't need your help. Never did, never will. How long's Kath going to be?
You did all you could do, Joe.
That lot of good it did.
You can't stop people from fighting, if that's what they want to do.
father and son, and they're at each other's throats. They're family. It's not supposed to be like that.
Yeah, well, sometimes it is. For some people, families are the ones you fight with. And if that's all you got, you don't know any different.
Still think I should quit the force?
Sorry?
Set myself up in the wine industry. Make your life a lot easier.
I never wanted you to quit, Joe.
It's not what you said before.
Is that what you thought? Now, why would I want you to quit? You're a good copper, Joe. And I'm sorry if I've been giving you such a hard time recently.
It's all right. I can take it.
Yeah, you can take that bike back too.
It's the wine industry.
Cheers.
That's great. So you're going to do it?
I didn't say that, Dad. But you can use your influence for me now that you're a wine baron.
Don't look so worried.
I always worry when she looks like that. What do you want?
Well, you can talk another leg off another table for me.
What table?
Your partner. Convince him to let David help with the management of Myrtle Creek.
Now, why would I do that?
To protect your investment. Trust me.
He'll do it.
Hey, hang on. I'm getting railroaded here. What about you helping manage the place?
I'm too busy being a copper, Dad. For all my bitching and moaning, I love it. It's what I really, really want to do. It makes me happy. You want me to be happy, don't you?
Yeah. To happiness.
To happiness. Sure. Thanks, Dad.